Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is Societal Narcissism. This video is sponsored by contribution from Brian. And Brian gave a general contribution, which I'm going to use for this. The problem with being raised by a borderline is you get to a point where some people have gotten to the point where they start believing they are one. You know, I've had a bunch of it's usually women come to me, and I've done videos for them asking, am I the borderline? And the answer's always been no. The borderlines I've called out have been people who have written into me under the guise of being the victim. And even in their own crazy story, they can't keep it straight and they end up being exposed. So what I have here is along the lines of the other borderline mothers, what we've been doing with the rainbow people, with the T people, a detranser. And well, let's just get right into it, shall we? This is Prisha. She lost a lot to the cult of gender and was suddenly thrust into the spotlight when her Reddit video went viral. I don't know why people go on Reddit thinking that they're going to get some kind of sympathy. I really don't. Reddit is the worst of the worst. Instead of taking the easy route and hiding, she has testified at legislatures all across the U.S., helping to pass laws to ensure other kids don't go through what she did. She's a hero, and if you're able, I think we should shower her with some financial blessings. Thank you for all you do, Prisha. And this is Prisha right here. And let's get into her story.
I can't believe this happened. I ruined my life. When you break it down, I decided that I didn't want to be a woman before I had ever even experienced being a woman. I had no idea what being a woman was like because I was a child. And
Right. You had no idea what being a woman was like, but whose job is it to teach you what being a woman is? Whose job is it to teach you how to function in society as a woman?
now I feel like I will never entirely know. I I want to say that I really feel like some people in the trans community and the trans medicalists and the doctors really, really target the most vulnerable of us. I have
They absolutely do. They absolutely, and that's exactly who they go after.
I have borderline personality disorder, and I know for a fact that this is the reason for my transition.
I'm just gonna.
It's a very difficult mental illness, and one of the core features is not having any sense of self or identity. And my doctors knew this.
One of the core features of what you're talking about is being raised by a borderline. See, when you're raised by a borderline, you begin to believe you are one. These doctors are not targeting borderlines. They're not targeting you because you have a mental illness. They're targeting you because you were raised by a borderline. And you have the after effect and the consequences of being raised by a borderline. And in so doing, they pinned the diagnosis on you. Because let me tell you something, there's real tears coming out of her eyes. Borderlines don't cry for real. There's never tears. They never cry for real.
I told them, even though they didn't ask, that I had been diagnosed with BPD. and it was all fine to them. I wasn't happy as a girl, so that meant I was a boy.
Why weren't you happy as a girl? You didn't know what it meant to be a girl. See, these are the effects of being raised by a borderline mother. It's not about you. It's about the person who broke you and took away your self-esteem and took away your femininity and took away any idea at that age of what it meant to be a girl, to be a woman, to be a female.
And I was trans. And so I just took the cure that was handed to me.
Borderlines don't want to be cured. Borderlines want to manipulate everybody and everything in their past. So unless Prisha was sitting there in her childhood and even into her adult years, figuring out how to manipulate other people, through histrionic breakdowns and bullying and pity parties. Was that what she was doing? Is that what you were doing? I doubt it. You're not a borderline. You're just abused by one. Look at the tears coming out of her eyes, people. We've seen how many hundreds of borderlines on this channel, hundreds of them. And what's one of the common denominators? Crying with no tears. This is real. This isn't a borderline. Yet she's walking around still thinking she is one. Thinking the problem's her. The problem's not her. The problem's who broke her. I.e., if I had to guess, her mother.
I was told that I was being given a cure, and I wouldn't want to kill myself anymore.
Borderlines don't want to kill themselves. They'll act like they want to kill themselves. They'll put on the fake suicide attempts to get the pity and to manipulate other people, but they never actually go through with it. They never go through with it. Is this what a borderline looks like to you?
And it wasn't true. No, I didn't want to cry in this video, but this is such a hard thing to talk about. I lost a lot of things to this, and I just hope that anyone else who's going through what I went through as a young girl will not be prescribed hormones and surgery because of other things. You know, there are so many mental health disorders that make you hate your body, and the solution isn't to change your body, it's to fix your brain, you know?
Right. The problem wasn't with your body. The problem was with your brain. And the problem isn't a mental illness. It's PTSD and trauma from the person who did this to you. The person who stole your childhood, stole your femininity, stole your sense of self, stole your self-esteem, and then slow walked you into this, brought you to a mental facility, brought you to a doctor as if you're the problem. Whatever behaviors you were experiencing that got you into that got you that diagnosis in the first place, what was the source? Borderlines just don't fall out of the sky. They don't. They're just like, oh, well, it's just this normal family, and whoop, here's just one borderline. No. It's passed down from generation to generation, and it's a learned behavior until somebody's strong enough to fight back and break the cycle.
Oh, I just don't want anyone else to ever feel this way. I lost my voice.
Borderlines want everybody to feel this way because they're miserable, they're calculating, and they do everything to gain an advantage, to about them. It's about their feelings, what they want at any given time. I would have to ask you, were you having histrionic breakdowns with the intention of manipulating your family, manipulating your friends, getting your way? Were you planning these things out in your head for days, weeks, sometimes months and years ahead of time? You weren't, because that's what borderlines do. That's what borderlines do. Borderlines don't go out and try to help people. Borderlines don't say, I'm the problem. Ever. Ever.
My chest. To ever feel this way. I lost my voice. I lost my chest. I don't know if I'm going to be able to have kids. I feel like no one wants to date me or love me because I'm ruined.
And my question would be, who ruined you? How did you get this way? This just doesn't happen in a vacuum. Somebody ruined this girl. We know who it was. You know, she's going after these doctors and these professionals that went after that did this to her, and as she should, 100% as she should, because they're just as big of predators as the person or people who broke her in the first place. And it just crushes me to see a girl like this saying, I'm a borderline and they preyed on me. No. See, you're never gonna get any type of peace that way, accepting that you're the problem, that you were the problem in the first place and they took advantage of the problem. No. This problem was created by somebody. Somebody stole femininity. Somebody stole your childhood. Somebody stole your self-esteem. Somebody stole your future, to the point where they took you to get a diagnosis, to have you diagnosed as what they are. No, you're not a borderline. You're just abused by one. You have traumatic PTSD, and that's what this girl really needs to focus on as she's fighting the fight to avoid other children being sucked into this. These scumbag doctors prey on the children of borderlines. They're preying on the children of borderlines because they know they're the easiest to manipulate. It's just disgusting. And if she sees this, I hope the message resonates with her. That is just terrible. How many borderlines have we seen on this channel? The crying without tears is borderline 101. This girl is crying for real. She is emotional for real. She has concerns for other people for real. She is putting herself out. She went on Reddit as a detranser to take all that heat. That's not what a borderline does. A borderline doesn't do something that is going to give them, that they're going to take heat from, that they're going to take criticism from, because a borderline can't stand criticism. They can't. They would never do this. Never in 1,000 million, 100 trillion years. Whatever number you want to make up, doesn't happen. So I hope she's able to figure out or find out or confront and get the monster that did this to her out of her life. Because unless she does, she's never going to find internal peace. Never. So thank you to Brian for the contribution. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, something you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up a Skype phone call, have a private video made, you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with either the Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, and email links in the description box below. Also, please share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. Also, be sure to follow both my Rumble channel, follow me on Twitter and Telegram as well. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been Societal Narcissism. Take care, everyone.